it's kind of hard to shine on that team because the level of performance you need to put up before you actually get the attention is like exceptionally high on this team. But I think for me in this tournament, Kitrek might have been the one player in this team that has put up maybe not the most stable performances out of all of them, but he's been solid. I would say probably one of the two that has been, you know, highest level in every game.
And it's harder to show off as a 5 player.
Yeah.
And for like multiple rounds now, OG has been slotting in 5 position players who do not have mainstream, they're not really very well known publicly. Like their coaches slotting in, you're like, oh, who's this guy? I've heard his name, but I've never seen him play Dota before. And that them like going on loss streaks and that happening multiple times in a row, like the hater eyes are going to be on this player for sure.
Yeah, and I will say that he's been doing well. Like I feel like when he plays heroes like ET Phoenix, he has incredible teamfight positioning, but also other heroes like Venge, he lanes well with Yuragi, and a lot of the time he just gets to go through the gate, like minute 4, 5, 6, help his offlaner, and that kind of speed up the game. Like I think right now, if you're a good early game support, it shows really nicely, because I would say there's a bit more freedom if your first few minutes are good, because you can gate, you can even TP up top, go for a kill, gate back bottom. Like you don't just make yourself stuck on the map if you make a move. You have so many more options now in Dota.
Look at that win rate for Gyro.
So I'm assuming that's
5 and
Pandas.
8.
Oh no, so that's the entire DreamLeague season 21, yeah.
In this tournament, 5 and 8.
Sub
First
50%.
pick carry, 5 and 8. Maybe Yatoro was right.
He was right.
Garbage hero, but teams are first picking it, so they just respectfully disagree with Spirit, who seemed to be the best team of the tournament. I mean, I'm always happy to see teams stick to their guns. Like even when you face adversity, you can still run stuff that you think is good and that works for your team. And at the end of the day, that's what's most important, right? Like even if a hero gets figured out, if this is your bread and butter, if you are the best team with a hero that's solved, you can still win. But this is obviously already going to be a little bit tricky. This is one of the harder matchups for Gyro is Razor, and Mind Control is not going to shy away from playing this one off lane either, just like we saw Amardu.
I would say it's also one of the beauties of Dota itself, like the clash of ideas. And just because you have beat Gyro before doesn't mean that they got to theorize about, okay, next time we pick Gyro, we just need this hero or that, or we were missing this aura, or we messed up this timing. So I think it's just fun to see like heroes or teams run back strategies. Even like a 5 and 8 Gyro doesn't seem too inspiring, doesn't really inspire me, but maybe they know something that we don't.
Maybe it's flex. That's a thought I've had at
Gyro,
some point.
let's
It's
go.
like, you could maybe first pick Gyro, and if teams counterpick it too much, this hero is playable in a support role. It's not out of the question. I think
Someone
teams
did
are
that.
just,
Yeah.
It was
teams are
secret,
just
I think.
slotting it in a lot as a carry right now.
I mean, I think it's really solid from like 15 minutes to like maybe 25 with the Rocket Barrage talent, but like, or with the Rocket Barrage shard, but like before that, it's okay. I just feel like there's a lot of really powerful supports right now in this last patch, like the Venge and the Warlock and the other heroes. So I would just really
They
would
get banned a lot.
Right, yeah, I'd rather pick somebody else. And those are some of the comfort heroes of these two teams here, the Venge and the Warlock.
Damn, Kazu, no liking for you, this guy.
We've got 3 games, don't worry, bro.
Okay.
Okay, I mean, if you're 9PANDAS and you see this matchup, I do think that you need to respect Razor in a way where if you don't want to flex it away, you need to help your Gyro. You will not have Venge because it's banned, so you're not going to be able to swap him out. So I think you need to look at heroes like Shadow Demon, I think, that come to mind. You can purge the Razor to make some space for your Gyro in the fight. I know, if it's a really good center game later, just as an example with like Stampede, like if this Gyro is going to be your carry, you already know now that you need to help him so that he actually can carry the game. Because Razor will not make it easy for you, my friend.
How good is Treant in this matchup? Like, Treant has been banned a lot. He was 9th most banned, I think it just showed. And his score is 10 and 5, which is really good, obviously, for an early phase support that we've seen mainly picked as. But Gyro, as a hero, likes to buy multiple dispels, right? He will buy at least the Satanic. Now you also have the choice of, you know, picking someone with a dispel, such as Shadow Demon could be an option, all right, with the Demonic Cleanse and whatnot. Is the Treant just that good that the carry matchup doesn't even matter? Because this is not one of the traditional ones. Usually Treant is amazing against carries like Troll that don't want to buy Manta and BKB, for example, or Satanic at the time or whatever.
It's an interesting idea. I think one of the cool things is that Gyro is not exactly the best like tower sieger with his like shorter range. So if you can at least have a good team fight, you can maybe limit the acceleration that 9PANDAS will bring, force them into this like farming game. That could be one upside of it.
Plus, it's Seb. How often has he ever cared about the meta?
That
He's
is
just
true.
like, I'm comfortable on this hero.
I
Give it
do-
to me every game.
I would also say, secondly, I think Razor enjoys playing with Treant. Like when we talk about this matchup in a vacuum, the Gyro Razor, it's more about can Razor stick on top of Gyro and does he have a good early game? I think Razor's weakness in the early game is his sustain in the laning stage. It's not good. Let's say you lane together, you get Leech Seed. If you're not even on the same lane, maybe you give him a living armor, some bonus armor to keep getting in there. I think the SD pick makes a lot of sense, right? You've got the matchup against the Razor. You can also defensively cleanse against the tree purge later.
That's really
Or
good.
the tree ult, and you can stack camps. Seems great.
Yeah.
Shadow has a really bad win rate. That's
Somehow, yeah.
Yeah, a little surprised on that for sure. I mean, Demonic Purge against Razor is just always so good. It was pretty effective in the last game we just watched too against Amar because Razor just can't chase for those 6 seconds. The upside though is that the Ags on SD doesn't give you 3 charges like you used to. You used to be able to just completely neuter one guy for the fight. No
That was a
matter
little
what.
too good.
It was. I was very sad when it went to 2. But yeah, still very good. I love what you said about the defensive cleanse. Cool thing about Elder Titan actually with the Gyro, if he does get in melee mode, he's lowering base armor.
Yeah.
Of all the heroes, I mean, it makes Flak way better too. So if he can actually get into these fights, whether he's, I don't know if he's a 4 or a 5 here, probably a 5, but that could be a cool thing to amplify. And frankly, Gyro still does okay magic damage too with his cooldown. So it's kind of a cool combo.
Doesn't it look like OG could benefit from playing a high range strategy here? Like against this type of lineup, Elder Titan and Shadow Demon, if you can like somewhat outrange them. Obviously you can't outrange Flak Cannon, but once Flak Cannon runs out, you know, classic heroes against Gyro would be something like maybe sometimes in the past we saw something like Sniper. Oh well, you
There
do the
it is,
opposite.
a ranged hero.
You just get
Throw daggers.
Okay, hang on. Whenever I say something like this, you always need to look if PA's in the pool. If
That's
PA's in
true.
the pool, all ideas go out the window because there's PA, and then
a lot safer.
it's just
There's also no stuns on that enemy squad effectively, so yeah, she's gonna be jumping all around. ET can amplify some of the damage she takes. The Demonic Purge, PA doesn't really care.
Yeah.
Just blink to allies, so yeah, it's a great pick.
Well, I think also the Eng is pretty good. You've got the early game tempo. You should lane well into ET if you want to go into that lane later on. You can try to overwhelm the lane. And yeah, I mean, there's a PA. It's a pretty damn good hero if you do get there later in the game. Which, the only thing right now that can counter her is SD. If SD can like get later in the game, you get an Aghanim and you break her, obviously you're very powerful. But the problem against PA is you don't see this goddamn hero. It's just invisible, it's blurred, and it kills you in 2 shots. So you need to get there and have incredible positioning.
Cool.
I like that.
Okay.
Well, we saw Collapse have like a magnificent performance yesterday between his Axe and Centaur games. And why can't Axe do it too against PA? I mean, Blade Mail Reflect, PA doesn't have much sustain. They have solid heals between the tree and the Enchantress, but it looks pretty good as a way to start team fights. Axe call into ET follow-up. Looks really strong.
The one downside here is I'm a little bit concerned for Axe to find the snowball that Collapse did. I think the PA lane matchup might not be as good as you might think instinctively, because PA can just harass you from range. You play Ench with Impetus and a creep. Axe can take serious harassment early on. If he doesn't get a good first couple of waves and get that Vanguard, this lane can actually... Ench is one of the few heroes that can bully this hero significantly in lane, so I think they need to really make sure to enable him to get off to a good start, or it could be a bit too slow.
At least he has SD who should be able to make stacks for him. I guess, yeah, your lane against PA is a bit more... I would say it's volatile, but I would say you should be okay as an Axe. Like, if I'm looking at OG, because I think this Axe pick is really good. Like, if you get a clear Axe call on this PA with Blade Mail, I think she might just melt. So if you're OG, I would like BZM's last pick to be a hero that can maybe deteriorate this in the team fight. Maybe some Kunkka. You're very tanky on your own. If you see an early Axe call, like you just Torrent Storm, you bolt on top, you give the bolt buff to the PA. Because kind of how PA works, in my opinion, in the late game is, if you initiate on her and she lives, you have lost. Because she will satanic jump around and kill every hero.
Yep.
So if you can find a way to just make this combo for 9PANDAS harder to execute, I think that's your go-to here as OG.
Just wait until the meta develops further and PA gets 6th item Aeon Disc, because she just needs to survive the jump.
There you go.
Get out.
That was how Ember Spirit Core became so relevant
is
with
true.
Eon Disc.
Oh, that's true.
Dazzle gets taken out, but in terms of the archetypes of mid that you were looking for, there's the Kunkka. BZM also played Earth Spirit.
Yeah. 9PANDAS might want that hero, actually.
They definitely need damage on OG as well, though, because between Treant and Enchantress, they might not have that much burst until a ways in. So they need somebody in the mid lane on the OG side that can add to these ganks.
I think the Stormban is good. I would like a Earth Spirit quite a bit. Well, for both teams, but of course 9PANDAS do pick first. I feel like Earth Spirit does make sense. It gives you some tempo. Right now you only have Axe going in, and if he's the only one, it gets very tailored once around the timing where he would have blinked that you just, oh guys, Axe has blink, he's off the map, what's he doing? So you kind of want another hero that can do it. I think also with the TA ban would make Earth Spirit a bit better. They ban Kunkka, I think that makes sense. Puck is chill.
And we saw this combination in the Shopify series, right, with the X mark plus PA, as if she wasn't hard enough to handle. You just X mark PA, she blinks and kills someone, and you pull her out with Kunkka, right?
Yeah,
just
that was
reset,
gross.
we go. They don't want to have to deal with that concern. But now, obviously, as Kezo pointed out, you are opening up for, I think, a pretty solid last pick Earth Spirit here. Even the Puck matchup isn't too bad. You have a Silence, against Shadow Demon, which is nice. You're tanky. You bridge the gap between the early and the late game, which I think OG's goal here is just to go late. I personally don't think OG lose this game in a super late game scenario. I think PS matchups are just too good for the most part. X is always going to be a little bit of a wild card, but
PA lose any ultra late game situation?
see, that's the thing we have yet to see, right? Because I think cracking the code of beating PA late game is finding some sort of reliable way of getting vision on her. And I think that's the biggest challenge is, well, how do you reliably get within 400 range on this hero?
Without getting jumped on first yourselves.
Yeah.
Who's ult?
I don't know about where she is. Oh, she's next to her team.
Vector with Ags, then you haunt, then you see her. The problem is she hard counters you, so that doesn't really work,
Yeah.
right? She's just going to break you and kill you in 3 hits.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, they do end up with the Earth Spirit, like you called out. I still think the Puck is pretty good, though. There's a lack of disables on the OG side with the first 4 picks, so Kiyotaka's probably not going to be dealt with much. He could be the frontlaner that looks for it, because once you find her, you can be like, oh my god, and you press phase shift, and you're like, okay, all right, team, go in. You can also Dream Coiler pre-BKB.
Yeah.
That way she can't jump around as much. It's some anti-mobility, and at least disrupting the supports is good. So
Wait, is there still a BKB Piercing Coil? Is that a talent? Or
the
is
25
25,
talent.
yeah.
Right. That's actually kind of interesting. I mean, if you get that late, right? Then if you do find her, you know where she is for a little bit of
If
time.
you don't die to a single dagger.
Yeah, that's why you buy Aeon Disc.
And then she jumps you. But overall, I think Puck is very good here. I like 9PANDAS draft, but there's something in the air.
I feel the
It's OG
tension.
and the PA. I don't know, man. Unless this Miro Axe pops off, I think Yuragi, he's got this.
You need a collapsed tier performance
You
out of
need a
Miro.
collapse.
Okay. I don't know if you're gonna get it though, because
He's not in the game, so there you go.
Rip. I would. I have faith in Miro though.
I do too.
Yeah.
You
Enough to go for them?
You're just not getting a collapse performance because he's not playing.
You're gonna get a better performance
Dumbass.
out of
I hear
him.
some voices from the casters. I don't know what the hell they're yelling or saying, but it's...
Oh, it's SVG, right? Don't listen to it.
OG climbing up the ladder, man. I feel like despite the fact that we're looking at a TI attending team, a team that got 5th, 6th at Riyadh Masters, up against a non-TI attending team, a team that got eliminated in the group stage of Riyadh Masters, feels like that should be a pretty clear favorite for 9PANDAS. But whether it is the current trajectory, their picks in this draft, or maybe a few other things, it feels like OG are not the underdogs. They may even be the favorites in this matchup, Avery.
Nope, still the underdogs.
Oh,
Good try.
okay.
OG's always an underdog.
Of course.
That's what it stands for.
That's their... Yeah.
They left the D off.
Somehow twist OG into underdogs. Ramses is going to get run down, so that... There you go! OG favored, clearly. They've got the Phantom Assassin perfectly. Honestly, they look like they're doing better here at DreamLeague than 9PANDAS. The panel pointed it out that I think it was Kezu, 9PANDAS, their group stage, who they won against, it was not that impressive. Their most impressive victory was a 1-1 against Tundra, which then Tundra lost to Team Spirit, so you can't even like hold that as like, oh my god, look, you know, they can contest with the best of the best.
Was this Seb guy deposit something in your PayPal? Well, he wasn't that bad. I mean, they're not in peak 9PANDAS form.
They only beat the teams that got eliminated.
All right, it was kind of bad, but I think they could get better as this tournament goes on.
Okay.
I mean, one of these teams will by default, so you know, they got that going for them.
No, that's not true. They could have lower. They could both play like trash. This game,
yeah,
one of them has to win. Then they could play even worse next year.
It's true. That could happen. I'd look forward to it. I think the biggest struggle for 9PANDAS honestly has been this mid lane. Not that Kiyotaka isn't. Well, I feel like there's two aspects. One, Kiyotaka, he's had some struggles in terms of the gameplay, like finding his momentum that we're used to seeing from him. And if that doesn't happen, I mean, this lineup's kind of built around him doing that, right? He gets a lot of these last pick priorities that are the high damage dealer carries from mid. Of course, his Tinker is the best example of that. If you don't pop off, then your lineup just loses the biggest source of damage. You know, it's not always on Ramses to one position carry the game. And so that's a big factor if he's not playing at 100%. But even more than that, I think the meta shift also hurts this team a lot, right? A lot of these carries from mid are not, the traditional ones at least, are not very popular. It's these weird spellcaster carries like the Dazzle, the Earth Spirit, whatever. The Kiyotaka, he's great on them, but they don't carry the game with damage. They carry it through this like weird spellcasting that sets it up for another damage dealer.
Solo choosing to fight Seb, and he will regret that choice. Giving away a kill in a lane you do not want to be giving away kills to, a Razor.
It is a very tough lane to play against, the Razor tree. Even if it's in the off lane where the trees sometimes can struggle if the trees get cut. Still just very hard for the ET to trade in, and this has been the downside of Elder Titan for a lot of metas. Can you get this hero out of the lane phase, or how much does it hurt your carry? That's what I don't like about Gyro ET. Because I don't know if ET can reliably get the Gyro into the position he wants to be in out of lane, which is dominate. So that he's ahead and he doesn't have to play into a PA on even footing. Because we all know what's going to happen in that situation, right?
Yeah.
The biggest thing that I feel about Gyro in this meta is he needs to win his lane. And you have to have stacks. If you get those two things, the hero can be very good. If one of those doesn't happen, he becomes a normal Dota hero. And of all the Dota heroes, he's not really the best. And I feel like ET presents a liability in that aspect. I mean, you have to win the lane with the ET, which isn't his strong suit either.
It's so obvious that you're an Elder Titan expert. And that essay you just gave on Elder Titan and his liability in this matchup.
The one thing that I like is I think the Elder Titan pick is very smart because this is an old school Phantom Assassin counter in some ways. It's very good versus PA. Assuming you don't get jumped.
Okay.
Now this PA is a very different version of Phantom Assassin, right? Where you might not see her, you can play off daggers, you don't have to commit. But the traditional gameplay of PA is PA goes in and jumps a hero, and you can instantly throw Spirit Stomp on her. And it forces either an early BKB, or you stomp her, and you can set up with the team. So in a way, ET protects the initial jump. Even then, it's an AoE spell that you don't need to see the PA to land that will allow you to set up. And if you are ever on top of her, the PA instantly disappears because this hero does not build any bonus armor. It's all natural, and it's basically pure damage. This Gyro will literally 3-shot her in the late game with an ET minus armor aura on top of it with the natural order.
Right, if you have MKB and stuff like that. But yeah. That does make sense.
It's just a good matchup, but I'm just worried that maybe this PA doesn't care about the matchup, right? Because you don't have to go in as much with this hero. You can just play off the late game daggers with the talents and the big crits. And
I also feel like she bursts heroes faster than she used to, which that time to set up for the stomp.
But you don't need much, right? Because she blinks in. She's not a very fast MS hero. And if you throw the Spirit on top of your ally that she jumps, she can't really jump back out. So she has to BK. That's what you're going for here.
Okay.
Either way, it is a good matchup for ET. It's just a question of, is PA a way stronger hero than Elder Titan right now? Yes, of course. So it might not do much for you.
So now that we've spent 3 minutes to talk about one hero, how's that mid matchup going? We got
well, of course, next on the list, Shadow Demon. Now, Shadow Demon in this game. Let me tell you, another 3-minute diatribe on why it's very applicable here.
Uragi commits for the kill on Amiro, but he will be met with a disruption. Meanwhile, MC gets the kill on Ramses. Uh-oh.
Yeah, he's going ham up here.
Yeah,
so much stolen damage.
That Razor is taken off right now. And we already saw in the previous series what a Razor offlane can do if you really start gunning for it. Miro does end up dying finally in this bottom lane. Antares, if he lands that 5th one, it might have been the kill, but Kidtrack actually did have a decent amount of Magic Wand stacks and Fairy Fire.
And he slaps him with the Hurl Boulder to send a message. These lanes are deteriorating quite fast for 9PANDAS.
Yeah.
I mean, the CS tells one tale, but the net worth already telling another. You have MC 1,000 ahead of Ramses up here. That is a ridiculous amount of differential to extract in the first 5 minutes for an offlaner. And this is an offlaner in the Razor, as we saw in the previous series, that can straight up carry this game, right? Pretty concerning if you're 9PANDAS. You need to have a better lane face here with an Axe Gyro draft. And another kill on top, and probably another one here.
Kill on bottom. Dagger to finish him off. Okay, you start off saying, okay, Kiyotaka, a lot of this team revolves around him. This laning phase has completely fallen apart for 9PANDAS, and they need Kiyotaka to bail them out now.
Can he bail them out? That's the question.
Yeah.
I mean, if you make a puck rotation, you're going to get countered by Earth Spirit instantly. It might just kill your game too. And you don't have necessarily a lot of damage on these side lanes to play with because they're both losing pretty hard here. There's a Treant in one with Sustain, there's an Enchantress in another. These aren't easy supports for Kiyotaka to solo pick off with early orb damage here. I don't know if you can play this game too fast if you're 9PANDAS. You just have a clunky lineup.
Yeah.
It's meant to strike in the mid game with the Shadow Demon ET. That's where their strength is, not in this first 10 minutes versus Ench Treant.
Right.
And
Ramses.
yeah, this is why. I mean, what is your interaction for this? There is none.
Nice rotation, though, by the Enchantress to make this kind of move. I mean, they got ahead in the laning phase, and then they just continue to shove it down 9PANDA's throat. The support rotations making it harder and harder for 9PANDAS to be able to keep up, and they can't do the same thing. I mean, they have Shadow Demon, Elder Titan, as you said, very mid-game focused, so they're not going to be able to do much when it comes to rotating around and meeting this kind of aggression.
Why are we looking at these useless neutral creeps?
No, useless. Show me the bling on the Kobold Foreman, man. That guy is cool.
He do be dripping.
He got the drip.
I won't forget this.
The thing about all these creeps is like their mouths can't close, right? That's why I never understand. You look at his teeth. Anatomically, it just doesn't work. But nobody cares.
Is there something in the lore about that?
No. Just Valve Hero design.
I feel like that's the opposite of like, I have no mouth and I need to scream. I have a mouth and I can't close it. Solo, nowhere he can really go. And Ramses is TPing back into this lane, but they're just going to run him over. They say this is no longer, you have to go jungle, but Gyrocopter level 4 can't possibly jungle, so what is the option here for 9PANDAS?
Level
Get tracked,
4.
man. Oh my god! Ramses just
giving
quit!
up. Yeah, he's giving up. I mean,
He's DC'd out! Threw his keyboard on the
well,
ground.
if this were a pub, yeah, he'd probably DC out. I mean, it's one of those games where, like, you abandon it, and then there's a Redditor like, how did this pro abandon this game? Except we're in a lower bracket elimination match, so you gotta play it out.
I mean, only thing that would make Twitch chat go crazier instead of Ramses, it was Quinn.
Radiant's bottom
Wow.
tower is under attack.
Oh, maybe even better if they was matched up against each other. 3,000 net worth lead, 10-0. A shutout so far for OG versus 9PANDAS. Are you beginning to believe, Avery, in the OG magic?
I don't know if they need much magic. They're just rolling this game, and it's all been the lane setup. 3 lanes really done work for them here, and especially this top lane between the Razor and the Treant. It was honestly pretty well played by OG, but I also think 9PANDAS overestimated how strong they were early and ended up in some
Is under attack.
ambitious trades. Again, ET is just not a hero who trades very well level 1 or 2. You kind of have to play it very patient and slow. Okay, can they get a kill?
Oh god, they dropped the coil, and I don't think they're going to be able to kill Kitrak.
Look at the Porcupine. Another shot and 2. Shoot him. Okay, no shot. Ramsey's still having fun up here.
You know, it really ruins your credibility when you call it a porcupine.
I mean, I'm going to keep saying it until it becomes the actual lore. And then who's going to look like a fool? You.
There's probably some new viewer who's like, how can I trust this analyst when he doesn't even know what a porcupine is?
Well, I mean, that guy can go fuck himself. What, do I have to cater to everybody? I'm catering to a niche audience, right? The best of the best.
Dota is a niche audience, you're right.
You know, if
Full of people
99% of people hate me,
between a porcupine and a pine.
I'm not a biologist.
Yeah, what are you?
I'm just a dumb Dota player, man. But I know enough about what's going on in this game to have that going for me.
Yeah, I don't think you need to be any kind of expert, let alone a biologist, to know that one team is a predator and the other team is prey.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's not many requirements to be really good at Dota, right? It's just don't have a social life. That's pretty easy to accomplish.
Yeah,
See, there's another example. How does this mouth work, man? It doesn't work.
It's got like a
It
saber
makes
tiger
no
mouth
sense.
going on.
I'm telling you, Valve got something going on.
So, you know, like you know how a lot of artists are uncomfortable with drawing hands? Maybe it's like the Valve artist is
They're
he's
trying
really
some
bad at
AI
drawing
out.
mouth.
Yeah, I see. They offloaded it to Mouth GPT, and it's not working out for him. Blade mail completed for the Razor. Fighting items coming in for OG. Of course, they always have that PA just farming. Still looking for the first kill for
Kicked
9
him back
Pandas.
with the Hurricane. 11th and 12th kill on the board for OG as they swarm through the mid lane.
Man,
Help
this
BCM out.
This is quite a beatdown.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah. Oh, see, that one closes. He just has an underbite.
Yeah, but not real. Well, I'm done on this thread. Production's getting too into it. It's making me uncomfortable, honestly.
You are
Ancient
such a
Steel with the Magnetize. This is about as greedy
Are
as
they
it
really
gets.
going to take away their ancients like this?
You have to win this fight if you're not
Disruption
banned.
into call on the PA. Can they get the Coley blade to finish him off? He's done. Yep, he falls. All right, the first kill to 9PANDAS. But the Magnetize, oh man, that
Doing
Magnetize
work.
is building up right now, and all 4 of these heroes, and MC is going to roll through. Catches Miro. Looks like the Earth Spirit somehow got stunned in the middle of his roll. He was definitely going to chase after more there, but a 1-for-3 exchange.
They're going back for the
And they're
Ancients.
going to lose the Ancient stack.
Do they have enough spell damage for this? I guess they do, yeah.
They do,
Magnetize
they
got
do.
it low. Kick Seb. Won't be the first time, and that's it. They're just cruising, man. Levels coming in for everybody. Level 7 on both these OG supports. Tells you everything you need to know about this early game. They are outpacing the enemy carry by 1 each. Wow.
Dire's middle tower.
Well, the fact that you set it up, Gyrocopter is impossible to play from behind. You
It's
have to
hard.
be ahead on this hero,
It's
and
hard.
immediately the game is very, very one-sided, and Gyrocopter is very, very far behind.
This is not where the hero wants to be. Especially when you go non-barrage build. I mean, what are you doing in a fight? You're throwing a call down and you're running away. You know, this game is so one-sided that when I saw Ramsey's inventory, I actually thought he was going Blade Mail for a second.
Oh,
I
because
was
he had the
like,
broadsword.
yeah, because he had the broad. I'm like, oh, he's going like fighting Blade Mail. That's a pretty interesting build. No, he's just that poor. I mean, they did get Uragi out of this.
Yeah.
That's all they're gonna show because they're like, see, it was a great fight for 9
Great fight for
Pandas.
9PANDAS. This is a very even game.
They got the enemy carry. That's all we need to see there.
The score is 1.5 to 1. Very close.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Tactical decision by Solo to give away his life for more farm for Kiyotaka.
I mean, he does have Witch Blade.
Top tower
There's some
is under
damage.
Here comes BZM. Oh, Phase shift does dodge that one. Silence away. Coil to hold him back. But the Magnetize could have. Oh no, the TV got canceled by an overgrowth. Well played by Seb. Reading that distance pretty nicely.
There's just no space to go anywhere.
And Ramsey's killing himself on a blade mail.
He should have gone his own, I'm telling you.
That's true.
Still looking for ults. Or at least one on solo here. Stomp set up into fake the auto attack. That's my favorite combination. Dude, MC always looks so chill, man. This guy's just vibing.
Yeah. He's just a happy boy. Loves playing some Dota.
Hilarious.
Well,
He loves it even more if he's winning. Didn't have that much of that this year.
yeah, so what is that? 2020 or so?
Dire's bottom
Yeah.
tower is under
Been a while. That's how Dota goes. Nothing says you can't come back and get straight back to the top. And then straight back to the bottom. You just keep going. That's how it works sometimes.
Tower is under attack.
Straight Dragonlance for Kit Dragon. I mean, why not?
Yeah, he's going to be huge.
You keep trying to bait me with these neutral. It's not going to work. But yes, his mouth is also anatomically impossible, for the record. Good observation,
Dire's top tower
observer.
is under attack.
Glad we're on the same page. Yeah, see, this is the kind of synergy that makes teams work.
Yeah, 9PANDAS could maybe learn from that synergy.
They are kind of stabilizing this game. I mean, they haven't died in a little bit. They have Blink on the Axe, Witchblade on Kiyotaka, so you do have some kill threat on supports if you can find them. And you do have Earth Splitter on Solo.
All right.
Online. Round of applause for Solo. He got there in the end.
Ladies and gentlemen,
No easy task this game, but
we did it.
he found it.
They're going to keep finding these pickoffs in the top lane. Whoever shows up. Now, Kiyotaka, they're going to try and fight this one. This is going to be the Blink Dagger. Miro has to get something out of this one, and he's going to choose MC, but Ramsey's immediately
killing him
by the drain. He's getting the call. He gets them. Finishes off the Razor. Now they're going to turn over the Kidrak, who's low as well. Ramsey's might take out, but the disruption save is there. OG overextend themselves, and finally, 9PANDAS get just a bit of redemption.
5v3. Where you come back in games is by numbers here. Big fight from 9PANDAS. Find a lot of gold off those kills. 2,000 in the bank. And a lot of XP as well. Ramsey is able to contribute the damage they need with the ult. Just landing on MC. Almost killed himself on the blade mail, but lucky to survive on 30 HP.
And he survives because Antari's bought back, so a buyback that was well worth it.
I mean, buybacks for supports at this game, absolutely right. You'll take that every time.
Yeah.
There's just so much XP going your way off any team fight win. If you can get to this blade mail and the axe, you have a lineup in OG where the damage is kind of a little uncontrollable between the Earth Spirit and especially the Razor. You can just double jump. You just double jump the Razor with the puck and the axe with a blade mail. Might be able to kill MC before he gets the BKB or any tanky item. I say that he's almost 2 BKB just because he's had such a fast start. Seb already with the shard up. Gonna make life hell for these mobility heroes.
It always sucks when you are behind like this and then you have an invisibility mechanic that you have to then spend your very limited net worth, 2,500 net worth, 33,000 net worth. It's like having to buy all these sentries to be able to deal with Seb is gonna ruin you.
It's a good tree. This is a good shard when you get it early. It's a lot of damage. It powers up all his other spells, multiple leashes or roots, sorry. And this is another Ancient stack that got stolen. How many Ancients has 9PANDAS stacked for OG at this point? It's getting ridiculous. Just stop. I don't think Ramsey's has seen a single one.
No, he hasn't. I'm not sure if he's even been to the triangle this entire time. Kiyotaka.
The phase shift, the last tick.
Yeah, and then blink away, but an instant kick from BZM.
Nice stop setup.
Earth Splitter with the missile on top. Great combo. Hey, you could have the Ancients. If we get a kill on the Razor in return, that might be worth more in both gold and experience. But they have to get out before BZM gets here, and he's already locked down Miro. He's going to chase after Antari's next with this arcane rune he has. Good little juke.
He's out of mana. There's no more threat here.
Yeah.
I mean, 9PANDAS is super happy with that. They're not getting the Ancients, but they're at least getting kills off of the greediness from OG here. And all of those kills are worth so much more than OG's right now. That was a 4x streak on Seb, so that was almost 1,000 gold for the tree. Big turnarounds coming in this game, not over yet. And again, where does this 9PANDAS lineup shine? Well, it wasn't in the lanes, as we all saw. But you don't win Dota off the lanes. You win it in the mid game and the ultra late.
You better win it in that mid game because we haven't talked about the Phantom Assassin for 15 minutes.
That's true. I mean, he's coming. But the team fight for 9PANDAS is no joke, and it's hitting its prime right now. Not in the position it wanted to be, but it's still very strong between the coil and then setting up all the spell damage to come through with Earth Splitter, Gyro ulti, SD, amping some stuff up. The BKBs are going to be the big timing here for OG that lets them power through all of that. That's going to be a problem interval for 9PANDAS because you don't have nearly enough physical on Ramses to deal with BKB heroes just jumping in on you. You're also getting rid of a lot of Kiyotaka's presence in that fight. So it's going to have to be big calls from Miro and disruption saves, trying to kite out the duration between the PA and the Razor BKB. You have some tools to do it here. As good as this early game was, it ain't over yet.
Yeah. I actually love the point you pointed out earlier about the Elder Titan, how he counters the PA. The Shadow Demon helps a lot with that, right? Because whoever's getting jumped can't be disrupted. Yeah. You respond with the Spirit there. Maybe they're even purged. They can't even move out of it in time. That applies to the Razor. That applies to the PA.
The downside is you're playing ET Gyro, which basically means people sometimes just get instant woken up off flak.
Yeah.
It's a double-edged combo. Like, this combo's nice because you can throw the Spirit out and you're amping a lot of magic damage off the Gyro, which he's a hybrid hero. You're also giving vision for the flak with the Spirit. There's upsides to this, but sometimes you just don't want to start getting woken up. Though the threshold's larger than it used to be.
Yeah, it goes up to 250. Right now it's at 120.
No. They took away. Oh no, they moved the talent to 25. So you can also get there. Just get to level 25.
450 Echo Stomp wake damage.
I don't even know if you take it a lot of times, honestly.
Yeah, Earth Splitter is probably way too value.
Depends on the game, but yeah, it's always pretty damn good.
Yes. He's got to have the Aghanim Scepter done on the Gyrocopter soon, so more damage he cannot control. What did we pause for? Was there a reason? Oh, crash. Got a crash from.
Well, as you see, pink player is disconnected.
Oh, thank you, Avery.
You're welcome.
A very astute analysis from you, as always.
What was the team that kept unpausing? Oh, Boom. Yeah, I mean, GPK were in this game. He'd be spamming F9. Time to go. I don't need my 5. Let's play the game.
That was something else.
I've never seen someone do that in competitive, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't even think it was BM. It's just like Toronto Tokyo wasn't even bad. He's like, yeah, that's GPK.
It's time to go. It's time to go.
I mean, sometimes coaches will tell their players, just treat this like a pub. Just imagine you're in a pub, do what you do there, solo carry the game. Well, sometimes that's chat wheeling and NASA and pausing on your own team. I think we've all been there, right?
No.
No, you don't do that.
No. 12,000 behavior score player, Avery. I don't know about you, but I don't do those things.
I don't know, man. I don't really view it as toxic behavior sometimes.
Pausing on your own team?
If it's like 10 minutes, you signed up to play the game. You're wasting my time, That's not being a team. Okay? Being a team is respect. So I'm going to respect my own time and not wait for you.
What if they just PC crashed or something?
For 15 minutes? 10 minutes?
I mean, sure.
What, am I supposed to sit there an hour? Call the PA.
Found him. Found the PA.
Beautiful stop timing.
All right, 9PANDAS. They had to thread that needle somehow to be able to find the Phantom Assassin and have the backup. It wasn't just the Axe. The Axe by himself was clearly not going to be enough damage.
And he had BKB, so you had to chain that stomp at the exact point after the call. Beautiful stuff from 9PANDAS. There's that ET coming into play. I guess they also had some time to think about it there.
And now they're taking their Ancients.
Go on, Ramses. He's definitely dead here. What can you do? Gotta shove the waves out. You're gonna die sometimes.
Yeah, thanks to that sneaky ward by the Secret Shop. I've seen this ward a number of times now. Instead of trying to put it on the high ground in the triangle, just put it basically on the Secret Shop.
Never put it in that high ground. It's just automatic D-ward.
Yeah.
Even off the Ancient D-ward. Miro doing a little Ancient stealing of his own. Honestly, I feel like 9PANDAS they're finding more on the map than it feels like they should or they deserve, right? Especially when you have this Treant Ench who can play up pretty far in front and either break smokes or just see where the threat is, which is pretty much only the Axe.
And the mobility of Earth Spirit. Like, he can connect to whatever these supports find.
Finding little openings in this game, and I mean, the gold lead's not gone up in 10 minutes.
State Ward gonna find another pickup. But as you said, somebody's got to push out the waves.
The nice thing for OG is they're continuing to scale in their support. So even when you're in these positions, the goldie's not necessarily increasing, but it gets lopsided because OG are fighting on everybody here, whereas 9PANDAS are going to have to sacrifice their supports, and that just becomes food for Yuragi. These two supports with farm, with Aeon Discs, with Ghost Scepters, whatever, could be annoying for the PA. If they're walking brown boots, I mean, you're gone every fight. Oh, Geoman gonna grit for allies.
Hey, now you've got a way to be able to save your PA.
Yeah,
in that situation we're talking about.
Potentially very nice this game.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Wisdom Rune for solo, the dream. Oh.
Did he go from level 9 to 11?
No, I went 10 to 11.
Oh, okay.
They also got to rework this hero's talents, man. I'm just gonna call Valve on this. Elder Titan level 10 talent.
What is it?
It's so bad you don't even take either.
25 attack speed or plus 2% Astral Spirit move speed per hero.
I feel like they forgot a digit on some of these. It's a typo almost. It's like insulting to the hero.
I mean, I feel like attack speed, it's kind of hard to balance attack speed on that hero.
Make it something else. You know, give him 200 damage on Echo Stomp. I don't know.
100. Seb is
setting up.
Casually just taking damage. Oh, this is twice now that Miro's blinked away right as Seb has tried to go on him.
He's too old.
He's too old. Couldn't get the hit in time. I'm sure Seb will appreciate that. I hope he listens back to the cast. From now on, that's the call out. Anytime Seb misses something, he's too old. That should be your chat wheel line.
He's too old. It could be.
TI chat wheel line.
I bet Seb would buy it.
He's too old.
Well, that's why he's playing Treant. It matches the energy.
Right, of course.
Slow, methodical. Just lay that slow punch in there. That's right.
I think he speaks slow too. Speaks like one of the ends.
That's right. Got a little Frost Mage providing some ice armor for MC is enough to save him. Look at the spell amp,
the BKB,
man.
the pullback gets him away from the axe, so there is going to be no cooling blade. The Earth Splitter isn't quite enough, and big heals come out. So MC is back into fighting shape.
And
he can go back in if he wants to. A nice kick in into the overgrowth. Just for Antares, though, so that was pretty heavy commitment for just a support. But again, MC is almost back up to full health, so it's not like 9PANDAS can take too much from this.
That was almost so good for 9PANDAS. 20 HP on MC on that Air Splitter. Not dealing as much into the BKB. It's more than it used to in other patches, but still, if that were a level 2 Earth Splitter, you're claiming that life. And honestly, I feel like the ET has looked pretty good in these engagements. Like, you look at the state of this game, it's really tough, but he's allowing this axe jump, throw the spirit, and you get so much magic amp on the Razor during the call duration where you can't BKB. The orb comes through, some gyro spells come through, a couple shadow poisons. It's giving you some burst potential here, which I like about the pick.
Yeah, that is something that Shadow Demon and Elder Titan, right? It gives you pretty good, like no matter what state of the game is, they both deliver percentage-based damage.
Right. So. And you can throw the Disseminate on the axe when he goes in as well.
Yeah, if you throw Disseminate on a hero when they're sleeping and they're about to get hit by an Earth Splitter, that's a huge burst of damage. Not just to that hero, but
that's good. They're going to scale for sure. These are hard scaling supports.
The problem is, the Doomsday Clock that is Phantom Assassin in this patch, it is ticking. It's 90 seconds to midnight. He's got BKB, he's got Deso. Yuragi is online and ready to rock 9PANDAS.
Whatever, man. Just give him a little natural order in the late game. Let's see what this PA does.
Yeah, with his BKB.
You can buy back. Give him a little buyback natural order in the late game. Ramsey's committing here, but
oh no, what? Ramses is in a bad position away from his team with a PA right on top of him. Yuragi jumps to Kitrak, but Kitrak doesn't need him.
It's so hard to take angles on these fights when you just can't see anything if you're 9PANDAS. I mean, it should be the axe with the puck going in first, setting the fight up for the gyro, not Ramsey's trying to find it himself, and gets a little too greedy, pays the price. More gold in OG's pocket as they're really building up the lead now. It's doubled in the last 5 minutes, and a lot of that going into this Phantom Assassin, who is starting to ramp the game up. Yuragi was done farming with that third item, making the Sages work.
That play makes me, I don't know, maybe it's just the state of the game. It has been a very hard game for 9PANDAS, particularly Ramses, but something about that move just makes me feel like he's not as comfortable playing the Gyrocopter as his, like, Juggernaut, for example. You know?
No, I think he's very comfortable on the hero. Well, I mean, what is he supposed to do?
Well, what you said, he's not supposed to be initiating.
It's a tough game, you know?
Well, that's what I said. It's a tough game. Coil will hold back BZM for a moment, but he is still on the hunt. Jump away with the Blink Dagger. Kiyotaka is good. It's going to work towards Octarine. Kiyotaka is going to have to do some heavy lifting. Not like he couldn't change that laning phase, as you said. Probably just gets counter-rotated by the Earth Spirit, but he is probably going to be a big source of making this game go late, if it does go late at all.
Oh yeah, rat it out.
Rat it out.
Second in net worth. Doing puck things.
He's working towards Octarine, so
If you're really, really on point with the button pressing, you can stay out on the map. And
MC is just running in here.
Nice force staff. Gets it away
This
from the
is very
roll.
aggressive.
BCM keeps going. They get a call out from Miro with the stomp turning around. Kid Track dies. Cooling Blade giving
Look at
the
the
extra
amp!
movement speed. The Earth Splitter does a lot, but it's still lacking in damage for the cores.
He has no
MC
BKB.
backing away. Uragi is going to be able to blink back to MC. 9PANDAS. Call it quits there. They understand that an even trade-off like that.
That's not the type of fight you want if you're OG, though. I just feel like it's forcing issue a little too much. They feel as though they're ahead, but why take a fight into the high ground, into the natural order Earth Splitter, which dealt 2,600 damage there. Straight up wrecked them.
Definitely.
And you don't have the BKBs up either.
Feels a little rushed.
Yeah, they're getting a little over anxious. Maybe wanted to use
The Aegis.
like the end tail of that Aegis, right?
Yeah.
I can understand. I mean, it's not anything terrible happened, but this is the exact type of fight setup that 9PANDAS won, and great force staffs to really kite out the initial go here. I mean, look at the shred damage coming through.
Good call by Miro to see that opportunity to... He got the Culling Blade on Kitrak, but then last second getting the other Culling Blade on Uragi before he goes down.
Get some extra stacks.
Yeah.
A little extra armor. Every bit helps. And he's not worse. Suddenly not looking too bad. I mean, you have a full Satanic completed on this gyro. Ramses is recovering in this game.
That was going to be Octarine complete for Kiyotaka. He has the gold to buy out the Soul Booster.
This is not that straightforward of a late. I think Puck is potentially a very good hero versus PA in the late game in terms of this version as well. I was talking about the Templar Assassin. Any hero that prevents the dagger spam opening up the fight is going to be pretty valuable, and I think Puck fits that category. He can go and start on heroes, and he's not necessarily afraid of Uragi one-shotting him because, I mean, the PA can't click him for a change. How's it feel?
Probably feels pretty good. Do you think there's any way that...
50 gold! No wonder he's so rich.
Thank you, production. Excellent stats, as always.
Playing a dangerous game.
What?
Was that sarcastic?
No.
Oh.
50 gold is a lot.
Quick smoke here from 9PANDAS.
Now, was that sarcastic, Avery?
No, I'm never sarcastic. MC looking for a Hex. Really get jumped while he's looking for it. Gotta go together, and you have to be around each other if you're 9PANDAS. So if you're Miro, I don't think you can just jump without the follow-up here. Because it has to be quick before the BKBs come out and negate so much of your damage. And you have to protect Ramses if you can. Maybe save Disruption Horn, save Lotus to get him out of Overgrowth. He does have
damage.
Satanic.
Is an opportunity,
That's a big
but
rune.
they have conceded the high ground, which is where OG are going to strike now.
Missed everybody as well. This is bad news.
Earth Splitter does a pittance of damage. Ramses a double damage, but it doesn't matter when his damage has been sucked away to the favor of the Razor, who MC fights 1v2 with the help of Zeb. Pretty easy fight for OG. Somehow they do lose the PA, though. Looks like...
Got called on the Blade Mail.
Well, good catch
Dunked
by
down.
Miro.
Literally solo killed by the axe with that Blade Mail. No BKB going off. Pretty surprising they actually got there. Yo, he got hit by Earth Splitter too.
Well, that is the highlight of a pretty low-light team fight. I mean, they lost so many heroes, but they get the kill on the PA. Miro gets that one, and Kiyotaka is still alive, which if anybody's going to survive in a team fight, I feel like it's a bad team fight, that is. You want Kiyotaka alive to keep the lanes pushed.
I mean, honestly, that's not even the worst outcome.
Yeah.
You get the PA. Feel pretty good. And the thing is, you got the PA with just the axe call into Earth Splitter. Which now, if you can pull that off without any other follow-up damage, the fight becomes way more reliable for you, right? Because those are two AoE spells, basically, that even if PA BKB jumps your gyro, you BKB Blade Mail jump him with an Earth Splitter on top. If he dies in that, it's pretty reliable. It makes the PA's life a lot harder. You're always going to have to think about who he jumps, when he jumps. Maybe just play off the daggers, let MC go in first.
But
there's always
their carry is still not having an impact. Like this gyrocopter picked up a double damage and was completely neutered by the Razor. And I don't see how that changes.
MKB Daedalus.
I mean, there's so much of Gyrocopter's build that hates this damage drain that is happening from the Razor. I mean, MKB maybe,
You gotta get the Lotus Reflect on the Link too.
who
That's a
cares
big
if you get a big crit when you only have 100 damage, you know?
It's gonna get scary here. I mean, there's no way around it. It's Phantom Assassin. It's very tanky on this gyro. If you can get an AC on somebody, it'd be pretty nice as well. You only have the lineup to build it.
No.
You do have 3 damage-dealing cores going in this late game. That's your hope if you're 9PANDAS. If you're OG, you really want to close this out during this like next Roshan period, I think. Not that you're under pressure, but you have a 20k gold lead.
You said 3 damage dealing carries? I thought you were talking about OG.
No, I'm talking about 9PANDAS. Puck, you've seen this Puck right-click in the late game.
Yeah, but Axe?
No joke. I mean, the thing is, Axe in this game will kill the Razor or the PA with Blade Mail.
Yeah.
It's a very good Blade Mail Axe game, and there's no save on OG.
I guess I just like, I feel like Razor's going to scale up. Same goes with the Earth Spirit. To either match
it's
that
very
9PANDAS or surpass.
MC's going for a hybrid build. He went for the Hex. His damage might not be as fast and swift, but he'll offer a lot more initiation power here in frontline for OG. You're going to have Tree and Armor coming in as well.
Pushing in, but once again, OG have the high ground and will freely take Solo's life.
Well, he scouted him.
Yeah. Gave up his life for an opportunity for 9PANDAS to retreat back to their base, but BZM isn't going to let them go so easily.
Kiyotaka still trying to push the waves out on the back. And
oh no, that's the worst one. Kiyotaka, the one person who we said needs to be able to stay alive to keep the lanes pushed in, and he dropped a gem. This is bad news for 9PANDAS.
Well, he got double crit. I mean, what can you do? In fact, click on the Puck's death summary. I think that is a... oh, you can't click on it.
Not working.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's a great one right there. Hello, goodbye. 2 bars.
He got two
Bottom tower.
crits and her Abyssal Blade.
So stupid sometimes. I mean, that was their gem as well.
Yeah.
And I think he is doing the right thing. Like, you want to keep pushing these lanes out even during fights. You want to deboard the map. You have to play Puck Dota here. You can't just back down and give them everything.
This could be good for 9PANDAS. BZM actually runs into this one, and MC is going to beat matchup with him. Now they have this double damage on Ramsey, so he can start going to work with the drain already gone from MC. Ramsey's had just failed to carry this one.
These Runes of Destiny, man, doing so much for Ramses, who completed the MKB. I mean, if you get out, again, I don't think if you're too sad about this, you recovered the gem. Yeah, you recovered the gem out of that as well, or Kit Tracks.
Great. Yeah.
It's great for Ramses. Yuragi was Roshin, so he's just not there. I mean, you'll take it. Game's still very tough, but you're continuing to find little openings in these fights off DD runes that you had no business getting in this game. However, Yuragi, on this Aegis period, this is where you can play hyper-aggressive and try and end it, especially if you can pick up this Ags in the next minute or two.
Minute or two, damn.
A fair piece.
Well, he's only
That's
2,000 off.
That's 1,000 GPM.
Well, you can sell Orber Corrosion here.
Yeah.
It's only 1,500. That's not a lot of time for a Phantom Assassin. Especially since he's going to double crit Kiyotaka and kill him.
Oh my god, he bashed him. Didn't even need the Abyssal Blade active.
Yeah, so you sell Orber Corrosion, another 1,000 gold, and you'll have...
I think you're going to be right about that. Okay, what can we talk about like the I feel like every single time I tune into the panel during the draft,
They're wrong, yes. I've noticed
no,
that
they're
too.
talking about like, oh, the PA's still out there. The PA's really scary,
Oh,
and
that one, yeah.
and then like these teams aren't picking the PA.
No BKB, you're gone. There's that damage dealing I was talking about. You just got a free life. OG don't want to let him go for free.
Yeah, they had the magnetized tick, and BZM wanted to keep it going. Zeb even blinking forward. Solo is a good target. He does do a lot of damage in these fights, so
Does have buyback here.
Both him and Kiyotaka do have buyback to defend if they want.
Gotta wait. You want to wait for your Puck to be up, ideally. Don't want to have to expend this Kiyotaka buyback. Even for a Rax, I don't know if it's worth it. Look for the next Axe call with an ET buyback. Try and burst the PA. You're in a good position. Yuragi's showing. It's very dangerous to show like this. You're giving them the jump if they want it, if they think they have enough burst damage. I'm surprised 9PANDAS didn't try and go for that. I mean, you're waiting for the puck here, right?
Yeah.
At the same time, they've shown they have the capability to burst him without Kiyotaka.
If they don't jump now, Yuragi is going to work towards a Satanic, and now he's level 25 as well. So both his game at a distance with the triple daggers, as well as if you actually do get that call, Satanic can make a world of difference.
Absolutely. You can heal yourself up. But you have to be able to press it before. Big question mark in that jump. You also do have the Stone Form from the Earth Spirit. I mean, it's not something we mentioned, but it has been there for BZM with this Axe. You can always roll in and save someone off the Axe call. You can also stone the Axe or, you know, stone someone else, just kick them in and start the fight that way.
Yeah.
Make the Axe jump really difficult. And with Seb scouting, it should be pretty reliable.
Maybe help catch the puck. BCM a little bit off there on the timing. Kiyotaka comes out of the phase shift, and back to the base he goes. But
And Seb has been rocking the Midas this whole game, so he's going to have a decent amount of farm in this tree. He's opted for Halberd. Very
he's
strong
going to
item in
go
this game.
Ags next.
Yeah, I don't know. This Ags is nice, but I always feel like it's actually better to just buy something more directly useful.
I could see it only because Kiyotaka is just trying to rat so much.
It's good versus the rat. It's also good extra vision for the PA daggers, which might just justify it on its own.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like, the alternative would be another Hex or... I mean, Vlad's is not bad here, honestly. Casual Vlad's. Like to see it on somebody, actually. And it'll be a second Hex for Kitrak, who is... just finished it up with that bounty rune if he wants to buy out at the shop, and I think you buy out here. I don't know. No reason to hold buyback on Enchantress when you can have a Hex instead. He's looking for it at the shop.
Especially considering how
he does not want to go up.
Impactful this Hex could be against that puck. Doesn't have a Lincolns or anything like that.
You also have Undispellable Magnetize for BZM. This Earth Spirit's hitting late game peak. It's going to be nasty in the fight. I mean, the scaling here, as you mentioned, it is very strong for OG. You have really strong scaling supports on 9PANDAS, but the cores on OG are all powerhouses in the late game. And Enchantress, always a factor.
Back to the PA.
Sure.
Is there something we're just kind of like missing? Because everybody here watching these games feels like PA is ridiculous. And then we all kind of get surprised that the hero isn't banned in the first phase, it's picked in the first phase. Like, you were a drafter. What's your view on this hero? Is it broken? Can you leave it out for the enemy team to pick it in the second phase?
I mean, broken's a strong word. But yes, it is relatively broken. I think a first pick PA is acceptable to give. I think getting it in this second phase deep, when some of these other bans, to me, have just not been as impactful, is pushing it a bit.
Okay.
Like, you're tempting fate, right? Just why do it? Though, there could be arguments of, like, we have a really good strat against it, or we want to play against it, because if you can beat it, obviously it does amazing for you in the trajectory of winning the whole tournament. Right? There's an idea in Dota where if you want to win a whole tournament, you have to beat the best heroes of the meta to some degree. You can't be afraid of something.
Yeah.
And if you accomplish that, then your chances to win go up monumentally, because then you can create the heroes a threat and you're not afraid of it. That's what a lot of these teams are trying to do.
Did you feel like at the start of this game that 9PANDAS had answers to PA?
I think they've picked their answers for sure. Okay. That's what the ET's here for. That's what this Axe is and Puck are here for, right? I think their draft makes sense versus PA. In a normal PA meta, I think this draft owns PA, honestly. You have all the tools and all the ability to do it. You have very good core matchups. You first pick the gyro, so you're not going to get the carry response. That's just life.
I mean, the fact that they were getting absolutely shit stomped and this game is still going and they have a chance. cleansed out by the Shadow Demon. Kiyotaka, is he going to be able to blink away? Hit by the side. Now the Lotus is going to bounce it back, may limit some of the damage, and jump in for BZM, miss, and he immediately gets called up by Miro. Can they finish off BZM before he gets away? No, he's going to roll out, and Yuragi and MC immediately pounce on that opportunity. BZM creates some chaos, and MC and Yuragi are going to be the beneficiaries of that as they bring down 2 cores and chase after the 2 supports. It's going to be wiping 4 out and losing nothing for it in exchange.
Yuragi just cleaning house with these crits, man. Make short work of Ramses, putting this incredibly broken hero to use with 7,200 damage in about 10 seconds. Not too shabby.
Not too bad.
Yeah, that's the problem. You give a little opening and suddenly PA just cleans it up. I don't know if there's another hero that does that right now, and that's why this hero is so terrifying. Most of that was them going on BZM, however. And
Yes.
I just don't think you can axe call the Earth Spirit here. He has 4,600 HP. Even if he dies, you're probably going to lose the fight because it takes so much committal on him, right? You got to be thinking about the Razor and the PA especially, and saving the AoE spells for it. And you're trying to turn a situation where your puck's getting gone in as well, which doesn't help. It's an awkward spot, but axe calling BZM here is not going to do it at this point in the game. And
it definitely felt like a bit of a panicked response to a situation that was kind of chaotic.
Yeah, and we'll see what the response is next game, but I have a feeling we're not going to be seeing Phantom Assassin again. As I think once you lose to this hero once, it's you've learned your lesson. Little eyes in the force, in the base. Very nice.
Can't hide from Seb.
Seb sees all. He has true sight. Solo sees nothing. Only despair.
It's a lot of despair to go around. 35,000 net worth, 43-11. I mean, they drew this game out, but what was the score? Like 12-0 at some point? They drew it out, but it seems like the outcome may have always been inevitable.
He went Scotty on PA, so just trying to counter this axe jump. Boost the HP up, give him more chance to get a Satanic off, or I'll just not die in the Blade Mail call. Interesting idea. I mean, it would have been this or Divine and you play the dagger game. Yeah. Which I think probably would have just been the more reliable way to try and end this game, because you have frontliners in Razor or Spirit, right?
Yeah, sure. If this game was a little bit more even, maybe you would have gone that route.
Yeah, this is the far more conservative route. Though from a theory standpoint, I think that Divine is actually stronger here, especially when you have Roche control. You can put an Aegis on him too.
Yeah.
Though I guess this hero also may not need the extra damage. Yuragi, he's bored playing Phantom Assassin.
They're stacking guild flags in the Roshan pit, waiting for him to spawn. Won't have to wait too much longer.
OG always have some stupid ass flags, man. I really do. It's either some stickers or flags with people's faces on it.
Yeah, way back in the day when they all did the no-tail face from TI8.
Yeah, you like walk out on the map. You're playing at the International. You walk out on the map, you go there. Jerax drops some spray on your ass.
You did your best.
Some weird dude's, it's like Anna's face in a weird morphed emotional state. Then you realize that you thought about it and that he accomplished his goal because you thought about it. Yeah. Like, fuck.
Shout out to that guy. That guy played in that world's best gamer competition recently.
Yeah, he did pretty well.
Did pretty well for himself.
Unsurprising.
Represented Dota 2 pretty well. I think he got 3rd.
Yeah, Dota needs some better world representation. Yeah, I'm looking at you, man.
What? I'm a great representative for Dota.
It's debatable. Trying to end this game right now for OG. Yuragi gonna push it with his Aegis here. He's gonna slow up Ramses with that dagger. Oh god, that's debilitating.
How do you even approach this?
Well,
your pandas.
We'll find out.
That's probably not the way they wanted it to start, with Gyrocopter getting kicked way in. They go for the call to try and help out Ramsey. Didn't grab the PA, though. Only grabbed the other 2 cores. Gyrocopter's now dead. Immediately buys back to rush into this fight. They have to throw body after body after body to try and kick OG out of their base. And they haven't even brought down one hero yet. Now a call onto the Edge, desperate to get a single kill before the end of this fight and the end of this game, it seems. Yuragi, meanwhile, has no problems with damage, no problem bringing down heroes. Does get called by Miro, but no blade mail, so not much of a threat. GG called by 9PANDAS. And the Phantom Assassin. It's inevitable.
That hero looks pretty dumb, honestly.